Hello there. We're going to do something a little different today. I've had this idea for a little while, but I'm going to take you on a walkthrough of my different types of ukuleles. I call it the ukulele family portrait. Now, here's the thing. In certain online circles, I've heard of this thing they call ukulele acquisition syndrome, UAS. So they say, once you buy one or two, it's easy to end up having 20. And I've heard cases like George Harrison supposedly had a ukulele in every room of his house, and probably a big house where you're at it, right? There's another story where George Harrison randomly went to Tom Petty's house, went to the trunk of his car, pulled out a ukulele and gave it to him, and Tom Petty said, "Well, George, you already gave me a ukulele." George said, "You could never have too many ukuleles." Well, I don't think I'm quite at that point yet. I have 5. Now, as I'm going to demonstrate, there are different sizes, there are different types. Each of these has a purpose and a role. And I think also there's the reality that when you're first getting into something like this, there's so many possibilities. It makes sense to try different kinds out. Then you kind of settle on what works for you. I clearly have an idea of that for myself, which you're going to see. But I'm going to take you in order, starting with my first ukulele, which is actually right here in front of me. This is Old Reliable, I suppose, even though I'll admit I don't play it that much anymore. So what we have here is a basic Kala ukulele. Technically it is called the Kala, I can't quite see on the inside, the Kala KAC. And this is a pretty good starter ukulele. So the story is I was in grad school, and at the time I really wanted to buckle down, and ideally I wanted to learn the mandolin because I owned one. It was back at my parents' house and it was just too far to drive, and I wanted to have something to learn right then and there because I was kind of in the dumps and it would kind of be a pick-me-up. I went to the guitar store, the ukulele was there. I said, why not? So I just went for it. This was, I remember it being about $90-ish. I looked it up on Sweetwater. You can get one of these for $99 right now. So that sounds about right. And I would say if you pay less than that or much less than that, then you're probably getting a ukulele that's not much better than a toy. So if it's kind of plastic or has a palm tree on it, you might want to be wary. It might not stay in tune. It might not sound great. And if you're really just beginning to learn, that's not encouraging, right? But it also has D'Addario strings on it, and I've tried different kinds. I like these D'Addario Nile-Tech strings, so they're a little more solid white instead of kind of translucent like the ukuleles. But I'll just give you a quick sample. I'm going to try to do this for each one of these, but here we go. I wish I was a mole in the ground. I did first learn that on this ukulele, probably circa 2018 or so. I got it January 2017, so that's how long I've been at this. And we're just going to put this away here. I will say I don't name many of my instruments. I think it's kind of silly unless the name kind of announces itself. So this one I call Little Birdie after a bluegrass song. So we're going to let Little Birdie fly away. It down here, and next we have my next acquisition, which I got in 2018. It was a Christmas gift, but one I'd really wanted for a while. And this is a gold tone banjo ukulele. I think the model is a BU1. This is solid. This is the one I should call Old Reliable because this is the instrument out of any that I played the most. Well, I don't know. It rivals my acoustic guitar in that regard, but definitely after I've got it, it's kind of my go-to instrument. I'm not sure if the nut here is supposed to slide like it does, but I have, these are labella strings. They're kind of different. So they're packaged as banjo ukulele strings. One thing that's different about these is you have a wound low C string. If you have a low G on certain ukuleles, those will be wound. I actually don't even have a ukulele here with a low G. Maybe that's an excuse to get another, But here I have a high G, but then a wound C strings. That's a little different. To me, it gives it a little extra punch. It's a little louder. But here we go with this one. So, never thought I'd need you, but now I know I'm wrong. Come on back, sweet baby, back where you belong. Gambled all around this town till I found I couldn't win. Come on back and pick me up again. If I lose, let me lose. I don't care how much I lose. If I lose $100 while I'm trying to win a dime, baby, she's got money all the time. And I think I've recorded more videos with this one than the others, so surely if you've been looking at some of my videos, you've heard this one before. One more detail I'll say about this. This might be my nicest ukulele just in terms of how much it cost. I think it was in the like maybe upper 200s, 280 range, something like that. One thing I will say about it, I largely wanted it for this pickup. If it's between this and another ukulele, don't worry too much about the pickup. Honestly, it's not that great. It doesn't have tone controls like a typical Acoustic-Electric would. And, you know, it tends to kind of squeal a lot, so something's going on with it. Not ideal. And honestly, this thing's plenty loud if you hold it up to a microphone. So, moving on here, I have to remember who's next. Okay. After this, I kind of wanted to get a tenor ukulele. I went several years without getting one. I ended up getting this, actually, as a baritone, just on a whim. I tried it in the store, and the baritone's different. And I'm going to be quite honest here. This is my least played ukulele. So what's going on here is it's tuned differently. Instead of your G, C, E, A, you have D, G, B, E. If you play a guitar, yeah, those are basically the 4 highest strings on a guitar. But what I actually end up doing here is I tend to capo this thing up like this. So basically, if you put a capo on the 5th fret, yeah, basically it's up there in the range of a typical ukulele. So I play it kind of like a down-tuned ukulele, but that gives me the low string here. Instead of, it's not reentrant, so we have low to high. D, G, B, E. And just to play a little bit of this one, I guess I'll go without that, but actually, it is a pretty nice instrument. So I do need to play it more. It's just the outlier in the group. And so I'm just going to put this here. Oh, I forgot to mention this is an Alvarez. I do like Alvarez. So very much built, you know, in the guitar style. They look like miniature guitars. And they kind of have that kind of resonance, you know, kind of Spanish, Portuguese, Iberian kind of sound. Because the ukulele is descended from several Portuguese instruments. So you can really see and hear those roots with these Alvarezes. And so guess what? When I decided maybe the baritone's not the best way to go, maybe I actually wanted a tenor, I went back to the same music store and got this one. And this is an Alvarez tenor. Model number, not sure. They call this a shadow burst pattern, which is kind of cool. Sounds like a superpower. But as you see, it's very guitar-like. I actually went to a guitar store just yesterday, I guess it was. And they had an Alvarez guitar that basically looked like this one's Papa, you know? So built along the same design. This one is a mahogany. The first call I showed you is mahogany as well. I'm not sure what the baritone is. This has, I believe, Aquila strings. And I play this one on and off. What I found, though, is that my size is concert size. So The Banjo ukulele is concert size. I didn't mention that. The first one's concert size that I showed you. Basically, the size that I have the most of is concert, so I have 3 of those. So this is a tenor, a little bigger than a concert, but not quite as big as a baritone. And I'll just let you hear a little bit of this one. Starting over here. And that's just a little tune I made up. I call it Possum Wings, at least for now. And this is also Acoustic-Electric. This is that's really the role this one plays for me. If I want to plug up, I grab this one. I don't grab kind of the banjo ukulele with the wonky pickup. But this sounds really nice. And one of the next videos I make is going to be this one plugged in, which I don't do very often.